All right, good morning. It's Councillor Glen. This morning is Saturday, January 28th. I am on Brae Street at Mary Durling Park. What a lovely skating rink we have here at Mary Durling Park. Another one of our 14 volunteer community-run skating rinks in Stittsville. This is a really nice location. They've got the main ice rink there that you can see. They've got the change shack over beside me, and behind the camera there's even a puddle rink. This is a smaller rink without boards, and if you've got kids that are learning to skate or you're learning to skate yourself, these puddle rinks are a great place to do that, and great for younger kids as well in the community. So Mary Durling Park, great place to come and skate. First things first, I wanted to wish everyone a happy Lunar New Year. I meant to do this last week, but I forgot. So happy Lunar New Year to everyone in our community who's celebrating. Everybody's talking about the snow this week. Yes, we have a lot of snow. Before this week's snowstorm, we were up to 150 centimeters of snow. That's a lot for Ottawa this time of year. We haven't had a season like this in quite a while. And between Wednesday and Thursday, we had an additional 27 centimeters. That's a lot of snow. There's more snow overnight. Apparently there's a 5 to 10 centimeter storm coming on Sunday, so a heck of a lot of snow in the forecast. And I know people are getting impatient. The snowbanks are getting higher, the roads are getting narrower, and I'm impatient too. I can tell you though, the crews are out every day. There's a night shift, there's a day shift, and they're working hard to clean up after all this snow. The snowbank removal will be resuming tonight. That had to go on pause because of the snowstorm. And hi there, how are you? Are you here to skate? Good. Looks no problem. I'm just going to keep doing my video and go right ahead. I think it needs shoveled though.
That's what my mom was going to do while I skate on that.
Oh, okay. Well, that one looks great. That one's ready to go. Yeah. Well, have fun. Anyhow, you brought a stick too. Perfect. Perfect. People here to skate already, Saturday morning. Okay, so I was saying the work on clearing snow resumes tonight. So they'll be taking away snowbanks resuming tonight. We've been posting on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Councillor Glen, updates whenever we receive them about the schedule for clearing streets in Stittsville for the removal of the snowbanks. It's a lot of work, but they're going street by street and trying to catch up. Let's just hope we don't have another big snow dump in the next week or so they can continue to catch up on the snow removal work. I've got lots of updates. I wanted to start with some City Hall updates. So yesterday I chaired the Transit Commission meeting, and the committee approved the procurement plan for the first group of e-buses in Ottawa. That's 350 buses over the next 4 years. I know I talked about this last week, but want to provide a little more context if I can. So we have 855 diesel buses in Ottawa right now, and each year they spew out 73,000 tons of greenhouse gases, which is a lot. It's 44% of the corporate emissions in the entire city of Ottawa. So if you add up all the city vehicles, bylaw, buses, police, fire, and all of the buildings, that makes up our total corporate emissions. 44% of that comes from the diesel buses. So over the next 15 years, as we retire the old diesel buses, we will be replacing them with electric buses. And we've received some funding from the federal government, the Infrastructure Canada and the Canada Infrastructure Bank, that will help offset the cost. They are more expensive, so we will pay the cost of what a diesel bus would cost, and then the federal government is topping up so that they'll cover the increased cost above and beyond of the electric buses. Now the good news is they are cheaper to run and to maintain. The electricity cost is much lower than fuel, and the maintenance costs are fewer than the diesel buses over the lifetime of the bus, which is great. So we are going to be procuring 26 of these buses to start in 2024, and then over 4 years getting up to 350 buses. That's not quite half of the fleet, but getting there. And those 350 buses, once they're in service 4 years from now, will take 30,000 tons of greenhouse gases out of our Ottawa environment each year, which is excellent. So that goes to Council on Wednesday for final approval. The other big news this week around OC Transpo was the settlement between the City of Ottawa and Rideau Transit Group over a notice of default and a number of other disputes. Now, I can't talk a lot about it. I can't say a lot about it because the terms of the settlement are confidential, and there's also some solicitor-client privileged information that's involved there, so there's not a lot I can say. But if you go back to the commissioner's report from last fall, he had a number of recommendations. Justice Hurrigan had a number of recommendations. This report addresses a number of those recommendations. One of his conclusions in that report, he did not say the system is impossible to fix or that it will never work properly. What he did say is the problems are solvable. One of the keys is good faith, cooperation, and communication between the two parties. And I think this settlement is reflective of that objective, which is to reset the relationship and make sure these two partners, OC, Transpo, City of Ottawa, and Rideau Transit Group, are working well together in the future. So I hope I'll be able to share some more information in the coming weeks and months, but that's the extent that I can say today. Also at City Hall, on Wednesday at City Council, we proclaimed International Holocaust Remembrance Day, or we recognize that formally as the City of Ottawa, and we are moving forward on some measures to combat anti-Semitism, which is still, unfortunately, and shockingly prevalent in our community. We also approved a renaming part of a street on Metcalfe Street downtown to honor Mahsa Amini. She was a woman who was tortured and murdered in Iran. There's the Iranian embassy used to be there, but it's become a site for a lot of protests and continuing advocacy. So that's something Council did. And then on Thursday at Transportation Committee approved temporarily reopening Wellington Street. Now, doesn't mean it's going to be permanently reopened. It's temporarily reopened. And what I sense is a lot of consensus among City Council to work with the federal government to eventually reconfigure that street. It right now is a 5-lane thoroughfare, and really not functioning well as a street. It's a road. It's a busy road. It handles a lot of traffic, and I think what I'd like to see is eventually some better facilities for pedestrian and cyclists. Perhaps instead of a 5-lane road, we could get down to a smaller roadway. Anyhow, there's still a lot of work to be done. A lot of studies to be done on traffic impacts and so on. A lot of work with the federal government. And we'll have more of that soon, more of that I'm sure over the next 4 years at Council as well. That goes to City Council for discussion on Wednesday. No, a week from Wednesday. Lots going on at City Hall. Okay, locally, some upcoming events. January 31st, that's Tuesday, we are doing a public information meeting about the latest draft of the Huntmar, widening, and Stittsville Main Street extension environmental assessment. It's the longest project name ever. But if you're interested in those two topics, check out my website and you'll find an information page with the link where you can register to participate. On February 13th, we are hosting a meeting about the city budget. It'll be in the evening on Zoom, and we'll have a guest from the city's finance department, a Q&A for residents on how the budget works, and also your chance to share some feedback about your priorities for city spending and city programs. On February 20th, we're going to host a Family Day skate at Cardell Rec. It's completely free, but we're asking that you register in advance because spaces are limited. So please go to my website, glengower.ca, and you'll see the link to register. And already some people signed up, so those spaces will go fast, which is great. In the community, January 31st, the Goulbourn Museum is hosting a consultation about their plan to digitize the museum's assets and collections. So they're looking for your feedback there. Go to the Goulbourn Museum webpage for more information. In February, the Rotary Club of Stittsville will be starting up again with their international film series. They have one a month, so go to the Rotary Club website for more information. A really great program there. Wanted to wish good luck to the Goulbourn Skating Club, who a couple of their teams are going to the Synchro Nationals in Calgary on February 20th. And I'll end with one reminder, one recognition. Tomorrow, January 29th, is the National Day of Remembrance of the Quebec City Mosque attacks and a day for action against Islamophobia. So in solidarity with our Muslim community tomorrow on the anniversary of a very tragic event. That is it for me today. It's a beautiful weekend, a little bit windy. I hope you get out, check out the rinks, go tobogganing, go cross-country skiing, take a walk around your neighborhood, enjoy the beautiful snow here in Stittsville, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.